lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings in the garden again. It is a beautiful day. I would like to talk to you about Malts of Scotland. The name sounds Scottish because obviously they bottle Scottish whiskey, but in fact Malts of Scotland is a German company. It is run by Thomas Uers, who is probably a very happy man because Malts of Scotland was named Independent Bottler of the Year in 2012. He has his headquarters and his warehouse in Paderborn in Germany, and in that warehouse they have literally hundreds of casks from all over Scotland. Apparently he used part of his fortune, he must have had a fortune, on buying casks from all over Scotland, put them in the warehouse in Paderborn, and now from time to time he releases them single casks, no colouring, no chill filtration, and at cask strength. That is what they do at Malts of Scotland. This is the range that they have, these cognac type bottles, and they have a numerous amount of releases. I've tried Klein Leashes, you name it. They have it all. Islay, Highland, Lowland, Speyside, you name it, they have it. And I have to say, it's not a big surprise that they are Independent Bottler of the Year, because all of their whiskies are actually quite good to quite excellent. So if you have not yet tried one of these Malts of Scotland releases, I suggest you do so now. What I have here before you, as you can see, is the Malts of Scotland range from Auchentoshan. They have bottled 5 Auchentoshan so far, the first one being this one, bottled in 2009, an Auchentoshan 1991, and this one was finished on a Chateau Montrose wine cask. I have to say, it's pretty foul. It really is. It's no good at all. This is rotten eggs. This is, well, not everything Malts of Scotland touches turns into gold. But after that, they made amends with these two beautiful sherried Auchentoshan. One was a Christmas bottling for a Belgian club called Full Dram, while the other one is the warehouse range, as you can see on the label. So this one was only available at the warehouse in Paderborn. So I was very happy to be able to add these to my collection. But today I would like to focus on these two new releases by Malts of Scotland. The first one up is a 28-year-old bottled in 2012 in December. It was a distillation from December 1984. That makes this a 28-year-old Auchentoshan, and it is bottled at 45, sorry, I'm mistaken. It is bottled at 54.9% ABV. It's a bourbon barrel matured Auchentoshan, and the cask yielded 189 bottles. That's the first one I would like to try, and I'm putting it head to head to a younger one, Auchentoshan, also from a bourbon barrel. In this case it yielded only 165 bottles, also at a cask strength of 52.3% in this case, but this is only 21 years old. Well, since it was distilled in May of 91 and bottled in March of 2013, it's only 2 months shy of being a 22-year-old, but it is still a 21-year-old Auchentoshan 1991. These two we're putting head to head right now. Let's start with the older one. They may be similar because they both matured on a bourbon barrel, but as you know, each cask delivers individual characteristics to your whiskey. It's even obvious already on the color. This one, while being the oldest, is much brighter than this new one. The 21-year-old is a bright golden, while this one is more sunlight to golden. So even though it matured for much longer, it is still a little less dark. Well, a little brighter, a little lighter in color. So the Auchentoshan 1984 on the nose. Ooh, very fresh, very lively. Very typical Auchentoshan. I get those typical citrusy notes. I get just a tad of rose petals in here. But clear vanilla and caramel, this is very much Auchentoshan pur sang. On the palate. Oh, that's a pity. It starts off pretty creamy in the mouth, with some white fruit, some citrus again, some clear vanilla, and caramel as well. maybe even some camphor, but on the palate, the rose petals becomes rather perfumey. It even becomes a bit soapy. Do you remember when I tried a few ramblings ago that 27-year-old Auchentoshan from Master of Malt, which was also a single cask? It's the same distillate, clearly. It turns a bit, French whore perfume. Not too much though, not as much as the Master of Malt bottling from a few weeks back, but still. Nah, it's a balancing act here. It's just a tad soapy. Yeah. Lavender. Parma violets. The finish is medium long, rather spicy. Fades gently. It's not bad, but just a little bit too soapy to my taste. Let's see what the 21-year-old says. So like I said, it's a bit darker. This is a bright golden, not sunlight, but a bright golden, even though it matured for 7 years less in the cask. May well be that this was a refill barrel and this is a first fill barrel. Could be. Who knows? On the nose. Oh, completely different. Yes. Completely different and very aromatic. Again, triple distilled. It's clearly delicate, but immediately this offers some much more oak in there. Some fresh wood shavings. But also some more than white fruit. This is actually more tropical, in fact. I get some white currants and strawberries. Some mirabelles, the yellow plums. Lychees. Some grapes, in fact. This is actually quite nice. And even though I do get a little bit of lavender on the nose here as well, it is much more subdued and it is not as disturbing as it was in the 1984 bottling. Yes, this is nice. The palate then. Creamy. Fruity. Spicy. Some white pepper, some ginger, some coriander even. But it's beautiful how the fruit has this nice interplay with, I would almost say it's virgin oak, because there's a lot of wood in there, but not in a disturbing way. A lot of wood in there, giving a lot of wood spices, some ginger. This is nice. The fruit it remains very exotic. It remains on lychees and strawberries, even some melon now in the aftertaste. This one I like. And even though the lavender is there as well, it is not soapy in this case. It is getting there, but luckily it balances on the right side of not being soapy, but being floral. Yes, this is quite good. The finish, it's shorter than on the 1984. It's shorter, but it is very fruity until the very end. Although that end, like I said, comes rather quickly. This one has a short finish, but it is much nicer than the older bottling. The 1984 turns a bit soapy. The 1991 remains floral without becoming soapy, and has these beautiful, not just orchard fruit, but also exotic fruit, making this my favorite of the two. And that's it for this Whisky Rambling. 2 Auchentoshan from Malts of Scotland. Check out their range. They're really, really worth checking out. Not just the Auchentoshans, but especially the rest that they bottle. Because as you know, I have a soft spot for Auchentoshan, but many of you would prefer a good Clynelish, or maybe even a Tomintoul, or they've recently released a magnificent Tormore. You should check that out. They have these beautiful, they're Islay whiskies. You should check out their Beaumours and their Lefroigs. They're absolutely amazing. Check them out. Give them a try. Malts of Scotland Independent Bottler of the Year 2012. Well done. And that's it for this Whisky Rambling. I hope to see you again real soon at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings. Until then, may the malt be with you. Bye bye.